We look good tall.
We should be taller than we are. Taller than we are. We should be taller than we are. Taller than we are. Should be taller than we are. Taller than we are. Taller than we are. Taller than we are. You know, when I hear us improvise songs like that, I understand what it's like to be a star. Because, you know, you sometimes hear about vocal stars, you know, musicians is what they're called.
And
and they just start doing stuff and they start to sing and then they harmonize. Somebody gets the melody, somebody gets the harmony. I've never understood the difference, but I know they're both different.
And that's what we do.
It's going dark. We want to clap?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Hi, I'm Maggie.
And I'm Amanda.
And we're sisters. In law. We're watching Suits one episode at a time.
It's a show so nice, I've watched it twice.
And a show so great, I'm watching it late.
Thanks so much for tuning in.
Maggie's never seen it and Amanda's obsessed. They don't wear fancy suits, they are casually dressed. They are sisters-in-law and they got a show about a law firm drama that aired a few years ago. Only Suits fans, only Suits fans. Only Suits fans, only Suits fans.
Yeah.
Only Suits fans, only Suits fans.
Only Suits fans. Hello, and welcome to Only Suits Fans. I'm Maggie.
And I'm Amanda. And we're sisters
in law.
We're interrupting our recaps of the original Suits to cover this incredible gift that is Suits LA.
And today we are recapping Season 1, Episode 6, Dester, which we just watched.
Yeah, we did. We just watched Dester.
We just turned off the TV. It was
Dester.
on, because that's how recently we watched
It
this.
was still on. It was paused into that next little show.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are.
Garden Club.
I don't know.
Is that the one that's on after that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. We're just focused on Suits LA.
That's
and
all
then also
we have
being
time
able
for.
to be here for you guys. So thanks for tuning in.
Yes, thank you so much.
We got some feedback last week that you couldn't see our faces.
So we're sitting on top of pillows.
That was this. It was like, y'all did really good. Couldn't see your face. So we actually, we are propped up.
Mm-hmm.
We have little booster seats.
We're not actually this tall, but we should be this tall.
We think we should be this tall.
We
would benefit from it.
I would be good. I have a long torso. I have a tall person torso.
Yeah.
But I'm not tall. Okay, I wrote a brief for this.
I want to hear it. I can't wait.
What did we learn this episode? We learned being a defense attorney is hard. So hard, it might just bring Ted and Stuart back together. We learned secrets are no fun unless you are part of one, when everyone keeps Lester's murder confession a secret from Ted, and it all crumbles when he takes the stand. And we learned that Ted would rather watch a man take a poop on the potty when he burst through the door to arrest him than stand by his grieving girlfriend at the funeral of a man he's kind of responsible for being killed. But all it takes is accepting some responsibility to earn an innocent verdict on all counts.
That's really great. You wrote that just
now.
Minutes after the show's over.
I did. It was all fresh. I was feeling it. I was like, this was a learning episode for us. We learned a lot in this episode.
Yeah.
In fact, we should kind of get into it, maybe.
We should get into it. We have the two sections, the BC and the AC.
Oh, before credits and after credits.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to tilt it. I know that for the viewers, they'll be like, oh, that's so sad. It's not even, but I need it to be tilted.
Nothing about this camera angle is even anyways, I don't think.
Yeah. Does it look like this is a haunted house?
Because it is.
You're right. It is a haunted house. I meant about like crooked.
Like how things are a little crooked.
Mm-hmm. Like
I don't know.
House. Like a fun house.
Like you know what? That's what it is. More than a haunted house, it's a fun house.
It's a fun house.
It is a very fun house.
Yeah.
Okay, here we are. Before credits, it all starts with Ted giving his opening statement for the trial. And he's like, well, here we are. Which I was like, here we are, Ted.
Yeah.
You're right.
What a great way to kick off a murder trial.
I feel like that's how I would start all my opening statements.
So, we're here.
So.
At a trial.
So you've been chosen.
Yeah.
To be a jury member.
Yeah.
And then he kind of makes the whole opening statement about himself. He's like, this is a trial about a man who was murdered, but also I'm putting my career on the line. And so I'm this is kind of about me. And I was
Right.
like, I don't think that's really appropriate, Ted.
No, this is about your client.
This is about your client, and a man was killed.
Yeah,
And did he kill himself? Was he killed? We got to get to the bottom of that.
we do. We do have a flashback. This episode is full of flashbacks.
I love flashbacks.
They love flashbacks here. So this is a flashback from 4 days earlier when Lester confesses to stealing the story about what happened from his script and said he killed Simon in self-defense. Simon said, "I'm going to kill you, Dester." And Kevin buys it. He captures it all on film, but tells Lester he's never going to tell that story again.
Mm-hmm. And it's important that Dester is a nickname Simon gave to Lester.
Yes.
What does Dester stand for? Dirty Lester?
Probably.
Dang it, Lester?
Yeah.
Dusty Lester?
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting to have a nickname that is so close to your name.
Right. That'd be like me calling you Samanda.
Yeah. And me calling you Maggie. Depo, if you could go by a nickname, just any nickname, like randomly, like my name is Maggie, but friends call me like this, and it's so wildly different. What would you do?
Bugs.
Bugs?
Yeah. I just, when you said that, that was the one that came up. Bugs. Like, oh, hey, Bugs.
Hey, Bugs.
Yeah. What's yours?
I like Bugs too, but we can't be that. We can't both be Bugs. That would be so confusing.
Bugs and Bugsy.
That would be, I think it'd be too much, too confusing.
Too close?
Too close. Bugs and Bugsy.
But Bugs is a good nickname.
Bugs is a great nickname.
I've never heard anyone get called Bugs.
I start calling you Bugs.
Like Bugs Bunny maybe, but like no one says just Bugs.
I don't know. Something like Lily or...
Lily.
Lily. I don't know. I mean...
Yeah, Lily.
Because the kids call me Nana because they can't say Amanda.
Yeah.
I'm fine with if people just call me Nana.
Nana's a cute name.
Yeah, it is a cute name.
Lily. Lily is hard.
Yeah. There's
Lily.
People can call me Nana. It's
La
fine.
la.
Yeah.
La 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 la.
MJ went into the bathroom here, the guest bathroom, and there's a container in there that has my initials on it. And she came out, she's like, "What are these initials? What are these letters mean?" And I told her, and she looked at me and like really confused. And I said, "Remember that I have two names. And sometimes people call me Amanda and sometimes people call me Nana." She goes, "Oh, yeah."
Oh, yeah.
Then she dropped it.
Oh,
there was
yeah.
no more confusion.
It was confusing because Nana doesn't start with an A.
Yeah. I just told her I had two different names.
Yeah.
So I think I'll just stick with Nana. Nana and Bugs.
Nana and Bugs. That's us.
It's our new show.
Names. Nana and Bugs.
Okay.
Okay, then we hear our favorite song.
A greenback boogie.
And we see Erica and Stuart. They're doing a walk and talk. Stuart is trying to poach her again by reminding her that once this case is over, Ted and his entire firm are dead. Like Ted is dead because this whole case is going horribly. Yeah. And she's going to be flooded with offers, and he just wants her to remember that he offered her first. But she doesn't want to come over unless she can be head of entertainment. But also, she's already picked her guy, and her guy is Ted.
Then we're in the courtroom. We see a witness, and it is Simon's psychologist. And she says that Lester definitely murdered him because Simon told her he would if he ever found out about the affair. Ted cross-examines and asks if Simon ever told her that he was stealing money. And she's like, no. So it's interesting, like, he was transparent but not forthcoming.
Yes.
And Ted asks if she feels protective of Simon. And if it's easier to think he was murdered than she failed him so badly that he killed himself.
That was rough.
I mean, that is a second-degree sick burn.
That's a third-degree sick burn.
Degree?
That was searing.
Yeah.
Oh, that you feel bad because you failed him so badly.
You're so bad at your job, he killed himself.
Like, what, Ted? I mean, I get it, I guess, but dang.
Yeah.
He's doing whatever he can, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we see another person on the stand. It's Mr. Bill Paxton. And he's there telling the jury that Lester was a liar, that he had temper tantrums and temper issues, and that Lester would have been more than furious with Simon if he found out about the affair, and he would have wanted to kill him. And he wanted to kill a man, anyone. And so Ted cross-examines him and asks, well, don't you hate Mr. Paxton? Don't you call my office all the time saying you hate don't you hate Lester, Mr. Paxton? Don't you call my office all the time? Yada, yada, yada. And he's like, yeah, I do hate him. Then Elizabeth cross-examines him again. And it's like, look what they were using for target practice. And it's a picture of Mr. Paxton. And they were shooting him in the head. And then as she's walking back, she tells Ted, she goes, "That's what you call a bullseye."
To which you audibly laughed.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what, in case you were wondering, that's what a bullseye looks like.
Yep. It was stupid.
Stupid jab.
It was kind of a stupid jab. Next up, we see Samantha, and she calls Ted to talk to him about his rough day. How cute. They're not dating. Okay, so he thinks the reason she left was because she wanted him to stop swinging, but she says she just wanted him to put down the bat and be with her for a while. So it's like, I don't want you to stop being a lawyer and like lawing so hard. I just wanted you to just chill out with me.
Recognize what's important.
Yeah.
Right. And then we see Erica confronting Rick. They're also not dating. About Stuart asking her to come to the firm because she thinks Rick told Stuart about the script and how Lester was borrowing from his own script for this murder and he's actually guilty in all this. And then she tells Rick the truth of what actually... So she realizes he didn't tell him about the script, so she decides to tell Rick that, yes, Lester did kill a man.
Yeah.
Which is not really keeping things close to the vest.
Yeah.
And they don't know if they should tell Ted.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Are you going to? I'm glad I don't have to decide.
Yeah. Kevin is in the kitchen eating donuts. Erica asks what the plan is. The plan is to put Lester on the stand. And Kevin says they're not going to tell Ted, but Erica doesn't want to hang Ted out to dry. He told Ted something once before and it messed with him. And so he's like, I'm going to follow my gut here on this one and not do it again. Okay. It's not a depo really. I mean, it's just like, what would you have done?
I think you 100% need to tell Ted because it changes his strategy. And that Kevin believes Lester, that it was self-defense, that says a lot too.
Yes.
But waiting it is no good.
This is awful. And I understand it makes for a good story, right? Like I know why they did that as writers and like why this is part of the show. Dude, if Bugs and Nana LP had this case and Bugs knew and Nana didn't,
I would have to tell.
Versa.
Yeah.
We make that pact now?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Bugs and Nana.
Bugs and Nana.
Bugs and Nana. Sounds like banana.
Yeah, Bugs and Nana. Nana bugs.
Nana bugs. Yeah, you have to, like, it's different because we learn in this episode what it was. And maybe we just go into that. Like, let's start talking about that flashback whole sequence.
Yeah, we can.
So basically what happened was Ted murdered Samantha's client by accident because of Pellegrini, the mafia.
He didn't do it.
He didn't do it, but Pellegrini did it because Ted used this voice actor to trick one of the guys into like confessing and going against Pellegrini. And Samantha was pissed because he used one of her guys for a mafia case.
Yeah.
And she doesn't like this mafia case to begin with.
Right.
So Ted goes to try and apologize at the hotel she's staying at, but she just wants him to be there with her and listen to him, listen to her, and all he wants to do is be like, I'm going to get Pellegrini, and that will make this all better. If I can just get Pellegrini. He is so singularly focused on Pellegrini that it's no good.
Yeah.
Because then Kevin's there to take him to the funeral of this comedian who died.
Yes. He doesn't go to the funeral.
Because
he gets Pellegrini.
Instead, he chooses to go get Pellegrini.
Yeah.
And then
Samantha comes home.
A day later.
She pissed.
Very pissed. She went to her mother's house. She was not at the hotel. She was at her mother's house.
Because he didn't show up to be there for her. And she then makes him choose. I guess she does make him choose. She says, you need to get off the case. And he says, I can't do that.
I can't do that.
And so she goes, you know what? I'm going to leave these slick city streets of New York City. And I'm taking a job in LA. I love you, but I got to go.
Peace out.
Peace out.
You know she was at her mother's house and they were just like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
You know that. They were like, go to LA, sweetie.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and he says there that he was like, no, you should have seen it. Like, I got him on the toilet and we got a picture and Pellegrini's going to be so embarrassed. And she's like, this is so annoying.
Yeah,
so
like,
annoying.
Also, like, hey, I'm so sorry I wasn't there for you, but like, I got a picture of a guy on the shooter. Like,
yeah, like literally, Ted.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah,
grow up.
Grow up.
Grow up. Grow up, Ted.
Grow up, Ted.
Okay, so then we're back in the present day.
Let's see, where are we?
We're at Ted telling Amanda that he believes in his heart that Lester is innocent. And because she's like, I'm not going to be on this case anymore after the stunt that Ted pulled. And where he hid Lester. So she says, okay, I'm not going to do this. And he tries to bring it up about her other case. And he's like, I know that he's innocent. I need your help making Elizabeth unlikable. Because if the jury can't trust her because they don't like her, it will help us look better. Right. So basically, help me paint this woman, this strong woman who is doing her job so well that she's beating me. Right. Help me paint her like a real bitch.
Yeah.
So that we can win.
Yeah. It's a weird tactic.
It is. But Amanda's on board.
Yeah, she is. She is on the stand, and she's there to, as I said in unison, establish a pattern about working against Elizabeth. She talks about Dante Everson and Elizabeth's dirty tricks, including hiding evidence. Elizabeth cross-examines and asks if anything that Amanda says about her doesn't change, that she didn't pull the trigger. And then she brings up Dante Everson and how he was convicted of gunning down a man's son.
Yeah, she basically says...
So it doesn't matter if you believed him or not.
He was guilty.
He was guilty because the jury convicted him.
Mm-hmm. And this man is... Lester's guilty too.
Yeah.
So then Amanda is in the library and she's got a little drink. And Ted has given her some space, which is a lesson he learned from Samantha when she kept wanting some space. And he just wanted to come and talk about Pellegrini over and over again. And he just checks in and she goes, it actually felt good to get that all out and get that on the record, even if it was a real whipping. And so Ted is like, she's like, what are you going to do? And Ted says, I'm going to swing for the fences.
Yeah.
He's going to go big or go home.
Go big or go home. Samantha checks in with Stuart about the severe peanut butter allergy. And this is such a weird thing. This is, I think, supposed to reveal that Stuart's funny and he does pranks. And I just feel like the way they combined this scene with what was next, like, just didn't move the scene. Like, it was, I said out loud, this is a weird scene.
It was a very weird scene.
Right? Because we had no resolution about the peanut butter.
Right.
Okay? He's done this because somebody is allergic
to peanut butter.
And he wants him to think about his own mortality every time he sees this jar, but it's not actually real peanut butter. Ha 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 ha. Okay, by the way, better jokes out there. There are better jokes to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
it's
not
also
a good
kind
one.
This is mean, right?
Yeah. Also, I don't think he's allergic to peanut butter in a jar.
Right. Was so weird because then it was a quick pivot.
Yeah.
With Samantha, also then saying, "Oh wait, let's see."
Because then Rick comes in.
Then Rick comes in. He's like, "Wait a minute. Did you extend Erica an offer? If you're going to be doing this and talking about, why don't you come talk to your head of entertainment? Either loop me in or fire me." And it was just such a weird, peanut butter. And then all three of them with this drama and who's running and no control over the firm. I don't know. This was a weird scene to me.
It was very weird. Also, I think it just shows Stuart's a buffoon in a lot of ways.
Probably.
Right? Maybe he's kind of she's hired him or they've joined forces to be partners. Mm-hmm. She chose Stuart over Ted. And then Stuart's doing things that are just I do not agree with how you are handling things. You might be a great criminal attorney, but you're really mismanaging this partnership right now.
Yeah.
From the peanut butter to the Erica poaching.
Yep.
So then we see Ted and he's calling Lester. He wants him to tell the story on the stand and Lester's like, okay, yeah. And then Ted says, because we have the truth on our side. But he wants to talk about how it was a suicide and not what actually happened. Because Ted doesn't know what happened.
He doesn't know.
So now he's making Lester lie.
Yeah. Lester is on the stand. Ted asks if Lester misses Simon, and he says he does, and he wishes he was still alive. He could never murder another human being, and that the truth died with his friend. Elizabeth says she's a witness who saw Lester pull the trigger, even though she has rested her case. So she's going to call somebody now.
Just to rebut that he said that it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Someone came forward the day before.
Yeah.
So then we see this rebuttal witness. She originally did not come forward. It's explained because she had signed an NDA. She was bartending at this house that was rented illegally. And so she didn't think she could say anything. But now that it's getting so close, she was like, I need to speak up.
Yeah.
So she talks about how she went out to smoke a cigarette and heard someone say, I'm going to kill you dead, sir. Mm-hmm. And then saw some men wrestling, struggling, and identified Lester as a man who pulled the trigger.
Yeah. Okay.
Dead, sir.
Dead, sir. Very close to
Dester. Imagine being in a struggle with someone for their life, but you still call them sir.
Yeah. That's very kind.
It's very respectful.
That's somebody's mama raised them well with some manners. That's all I got to say.
I'm going to kill you dead, sir.
Comma, sir.
I'm going to kill you dead, sir.
Comma, sir.
Commissar.
Yeah. Ooh, depot.
Ooh.
What is your opinion, or what is your use or not use of the Oxford comma?
I think I use it more than I don't. But I distinctly remember the lesson on it when I was in 5th grade, and it was, this is optional.
Yes.
Not mandatory.
Okay.
And so I kind of am free willy with it.
Okay.
Like, I'm like, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
It's Wild Wild West for you?
It is. It's Wild Wild West. But I would say I lean towards using it more because of all those memes that are like, look at the difference between these two sentences.
It's like changes the message.
It can change the message completely. So you have to understand, like, your reader has to kind of know what you're talking about.
And you can't assume that.
You can't assume that. But sometimes I like to make assumptions.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you are a strict Oxford comma.
Would marry the Oxford comma if he would propose.
An Oxford comma would be so dapper.
For sure.
Handsome.
Literally, I cannot handle it when people don't use it. Because it literally changes the message. And you look at something, you're like, how did you pick that this thing was different, and then these two things here that your ideas or people or whatever are grouping together that puts them in a pod together?
No, I've heard this rant before.
Like, that's not what the message is. And sometimes in little things it's fine, but like this could be real bad. Yeah. Like in a big serious thing, like somebody could get hurt, or
somebody could get hurt,
or convicted of murder if they didn't. You know,
it's true.
It is.
It's a deal breaker.
Okay, my heart rate. Let me see what it is.
I've heard this from when we worked with you, because one time we were working and someone had gone through and edited a document and taken out the Oxford commas just because that was their preference, and you gave that same rant.
And did I say this is an Oxford comma company?
I think you said this is an Oxford comma company. It was like, this is our brand guidelines, is we use the Oxford comma. Starting now, right now,
if you didn't know, we are using the Oxford comma.
You like stormed out of it was when you had the pink office.
Oh yeah.
And you just like,
I was so mad.
You were like, what is going on in this doc?
It drove me crazy to read it. It's funny, I was telling our friend Whitney about this. We were actually talking about the Oxford comma today. And
it comes up a lot.
It does. When I first started working at the job I'm at now, early on I had to make a deck for the CEO, so I slacked him real quick. I was like, hey, real quick, what is your opinion, or like what are your thoughts on the Oxford comma? I've got a lot of commas in this deck, and I want to make sure that they're right, and marketing doesn't know. He's like, marketing doesn't know. He's like, we are absolutely an Oxford comma company. And if anybody asks you, make sure. Because I was sitting there watching those little dots appear, and I was like, if this man comes back and tells me that we're not an Oxford comma company.
No, of course you're an Oxford comma company.
I'm like, I'm not gonna walk, but like.
But you're gonna talk.
I'm gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
And then it came up in many meetings, like soon afterwards.
They were like, we love
people were like, I don't know if we are. I go, oh, I know that we're an Oxford comma company. And they're like, how do you know? I go, I have a Slack, and I'm so happy.
And I printed it out.
And we are using the Oxford comma. I wanted to write like something using the Oxford comma to explain to people why we were the Oxford comma, an Oxford comma.
Why do we use the Oxford comma? And then it's a list that it requires. Okay, then here we are. And Ted confronts Lester and Kevin in the bathroom because of this bombshell witness. And Kevin says he stands by not telling Ted because the last time he did, he really blew up his life, because Kevin was the person who told Ted that Pellegrini was going to get arrested an hour into this funeral that he was supposed to go to. Yeah. Lester asks, he's like, can't I just go and tell the truth the second time? Can't I just redo it?
Yeah. Can I get a redo?
No. Also, Ted tells Kevin he will be pissed at him later, which was fabulous.
I know. I wanted him to be like, we're going to circle back on that. Yeah. We'll close the loop. He's like, I will be pissed at you later. Right now, I'm pissed at this.
Yes. That was so good.
Yeah. Samantha comes home the next day. She spent the night at her mother. Oh, we already done this part. This is from the flashback.
Oh, yeah. That's a flashback.
Yeah. That's good. So Stuart and Ted have pulled an all-nighter trying to figure out what to do. Which is interesting because now they're like, we're friends again. We're going to work together. Okay? Yeah. Stuart throws the papers at the wall because they can't figure it out. I thought it was a box. A pizza box.
Was it a pizza box?
It was a pizza box. Because Ted's like, now that we're taking a box throwing break.
Oh, not like a box of papers.
No, I think it was a pizza box.
Oh, I love pizza.
I know, right? Well, our box would be empty too.
It would be empty. It would look like just a bunch of papers.
Yeah. Our box is empty. Is that the name of this episode?
Our box is empty.
Ted says now that he's been a defense attorney for one case, he understands the mountain that Stuart climbs every single case, and he has a lot more respect for him. Definitely, probably, you know. They start quoting A Few Good Men, but then Stuart says that Elizabeth entered Valerie's transcript, and that's the ticket out.
Yeah, so this thing that Elizabeth was pushing so hard for is actually going to be the thing that gets Lester off in Stuart's mind.
Yes.
That's what he thinks.
Yes.
So Erica tells Amanda, like, hey, I read the transcript from your time on the stand, and it sounded really rough. And Amanda realizes that Erica knew the entire time, or not the entire time, but Erica at least knew before it came out in trial that Lester had, in fact, killed Simon. And while that's happening, Kevin walks in and he goes, actually, like, I'm the one who told her not to tell Ted.
Yeah.
She wanted to tell Ted, and I said not to.
Right.
No one needs to know that Erica knew.
Right. So that's nice for him to cover, at least.
Yeah.
I'm being conscious here. Can you guys see us? I want to make sure you can see
I
us.
think they can.
We're on our booster seats.
Yeah, we're on our booster seats.
We're on our booster seats.
That was me. I didn't really fart. I went with my mouth.
With your mouth?
Yeah, I didn't want anyone just listening to the episode to think that I farted.
Oh, thank you for telling. I'll just put that in the bloopers and make people wonder.
There we go.
I'm kidding. Rick answers a ringing phone in the office with a French accent, and then he transfers it to himself, and he's like, no, that wasn't you. You know, that was actually somebody else answering it. It turns out it was his mom calling. He's like, I gotta go, Mom. Bye.
His mom just calls the office first thing in the morning.
So weird. Stuart comes in, and then Rick yells at him about how obsessed he is at getting back at Ted and how he offered his job to Erica. And then Stuart tells him that they made up. He and Ted made up, and that they stayed up all night. And Stuart didn't stop him in his monologue because Rick was really hot to Trot.
He was hot to Trot, and then Stuart trots out of the scene.
Yeah. Trot, 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 trot. Hot to Trot.
Hot to Trot. Hot to hot to hot to Trot. Hot to Trot. Hot to Trot.
Trot to
HOTTROT.
You tried it.
Hot to Trot.
Hot to Trot. That's the name of the episode.
That's it. Yeah, also kind of a weird scene because Rick is getting like way mad, and then Stuart's just like, actually, Ted and I made up because he asked me to help him with the case, and I helped him, and we figured it out.
Yeah.
And then they were just like, okay, goodbye.
Rick comes to the trial and sits next to Erica, where they jab at each other. The defense calls Lester to the stand and changes the plea for reason of self-defense. Valerie Thompson is on the record saying that Simon wanted to kill Lester in the transcript that she entered. The chickens are coming home to roost.
And they're roosting right on Elizabeth's head and laying some eggs called Justice.
Yeah. Eggs called Justice?
Eggs called Justice.
That's good. Mm-hmm. That would be our tagline.
Yeah, hi. Is
it Bugs and Nana LP or Nana and Bugs LP?
Well, alphabetically, it should be Bugs and Nana.
Okay, so Bugs and Nana LP. Eggs
on laying
justice. Laying eggs of justice.
Laying eggs of justice.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at these cool law chicks.
Okay, this
laying
weekend.
Eggs of justice.
This weekend, my friend brought farm fresh eggs, like not from the grocery store. She has a friend who has chickens, and she bought eggs from this friend and brought them. Guess how expensive it was to get eggs from chickens?
I don't know.
Like eggs from chickens in someone's backyard.
I don't know.
She paid $4
For 12 eggs?
for 12 eggs.
That's great.
Which is like half the price of what it costs.
How quick can they crank those eggs out?
I think they lay eggs every day.
Do they really?
They lay eggs every day, right?
No
They're
way.
just constantly laying eggs.
Really?
Yeah. You got to check those eggs all the time.
They're constantly laying eggs?
I don't know for sure, but I think that you would have eggs in your hen house every day.
Wow. That's great for someone who likes eggs.
Right?
Should we do that?
I also saw, oh my gosh, I also saw that you can buy Trader Joe's eggs. They have some eggs where like chickens have been around roosters and they've laid eggs. And you can eat them all, but you can also put them into an egg warmer, and some of them will grow chickens.
Wait.
Like you put a dozen Trader Joe's fertilized eggs, like they've been around a rooster, so you can eat them, but you could also put them into this egg warmer. And out of the dozen, this woman was like, I got 3 chicks out of it.
They grew? Like, what do you mean an egg warmer? Like
you know, in elementary school when you have like, you grow You hatch eggs?
No, we didn't do that.
You didn't hatch eggs?
No, we went straight to the middle school and just cut cows' eyeballs.
You never talked about eggs hatching? Yeah, we hatched like duck eggs.
No.
And some chick eggs.
No.
So you put them in this little, it's like this little like light, and it creates this nice warm.
Like a little tanning bed.
Like a little tanning bed for them. And then you watch them hatch, and then you have chicks and ducks, and you can grow them. Like they come from, you can get them from Trader Joe's.
And is that like a old wives' tale or like every...
I watched 4 different reels about it.
Okay. Can you
4.
send me one when you see them?
Yeah, I will.
Hey, Instagram. I'm gonna talk to my friend.
Talk to Meta.
Instagram, can you send me reels about chickens from Trader Joe's eggs? My phone's on airplane right now and do not disturb. I don't know if it'll pick it up.
Mine's not here. Egg fertilized from Trader Joe's. Wait, no. Trader Joe's fertilized eggs hatching.
Yeah. It'll pick it up.
Reels.
TikToks. Thanks.
Thank you.
You should be nice to the algorithm.
Thank you, benevolent algorithm.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Eggs of justice have been hatched. Lester is back on the stand for his redo. Now he is going to tell the truth. It's been hard.
He's really going to do it, yeah.
Now is the real time.
Yeah.
Final draft. And he's like talking about how when he was a kid, he was really small. And then he got blamed for doing things like taking cookies and pulling the fire alarm. And so he's really triggered. He had like PTSD from getting blamed from these childhood pranks because of his teacher, Mrs. Metzger. So when the police came, he was like, all I see is a bunch of Mrs. Metzgers. I can't tell them the truth because I'll get blamed for this.
Yeah.
So now he is going to tell this jury of non-Mrs. Metzgers how he did pull the trigger, because if he hadn't, Simon would have killed him, because he is Dester, not Dead Sir.
Ooh, that's interesting.
There's the smoking gun.
That is.
Dester.
That's it. Elizabeth cross-examines and says the Dester nonsense, and then and that he didn't tell the story until she called a witness. And then Ted says they have a video of the confession from 4 days ago, and Kevin says that tape was me. I saved the day. So Kevin recorded it. He knew what to do. He sent it.
He sent it timestamp mailed.
Yeah, so
all
it
of
would be
it.
there. Yeah. Ted and Elizabeth are both pretty confident they will get the jury on their side.
When this happened, I was like, they are like, we've just won this case. And I, as a potential juror on this case, is like, I don't know.
I wanted to say, don't count your chickens, your Trader Joe's chickens before they hatch.
Right, because only 3 of them might hatch.
Yeah.
And the rest might be just making eggs.
Yeah, you might have a hung dozen of chickens.
Hung dozen. Yeah, I just, they were so confident.
Like, and I was like, oh gosh, is this going to end wrong? Like when the jury foreman said it, I was like, oh, what if they got too cocky, too fast?
I wish they had, because I'm like, okay. So now he's telling the truth? Yeah. Anyways, Ted's closing argument is once again about himself. And it's about how he's this entertainment lawyer and he's so great at it. He's the best at it because he knows when to take a gamble on someone and like when someone's worth the risk and who to believe in. And he knows Lester is innocent. The jury then also knows Lester is innocent and finds him not guilty.
Yeah.
And as he's leaving, he tells the jury he's the best entertainment lawyer they've ever seen. And he's got the rest of his life to keep living.
Yeah. Which is kind of like weird. Like, don't
it's
tell that to
all
the jury.
about him.
Yeah.
Just like Samantha's note of like, just be here with me.
Yeah.
But Ted can't. It's all about Ted all the time.
Come on, Ted.
Come on, Ted.
Ted comes off the elevator in slow motion. He's visiting Samantha. He accepts responsibility for Cameron dying and that he should have said that from the beginning. He should have gone to the funeral. He should have been there for Samantha. And then she walks right towards him with the way somebody on TV walks towards somebody they're going to kiss.
It was very Donna
that
kissing
is a TV,
Harvey.
I'm about to kiss you. TV walk, I'm about to kiss you. Here we go.
Fast. Too fast
with
for a
purpose.
hug.
Fast and with purpose. And no arms out.
No
like
arms
this.
until the very end. Yeah, a
Right?
hug. Yeah, I feel like a hug walk is like arms out, slow, like come here.
Yeah,
come
but that
here.
was like, here I go walking to your lips. Here
And
I
then-
go walking to your lips.
Here I go walking to your lips. Here I go walking to your lips. Here's my hands. I'm gonna hug you. Surprise!
Surprise! Sneak attack.
Surprise!
Not
It's a
even-
hug.
It's not even first base.
It's not even.
Foul ball.
Bye.
Bye.
Now get out of my office.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very sexual walk. But, you know, A hug's nice.
A hug's nice.
A hug's nice when you've been carrying that burden for a long time.
You're supposed to have 11 hugs a day.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Too many.
Too many? I bet you get at least 11 at your house.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Maybe I'm just like so rich in hugs that I find it.
I feel like your youngest kind of just gives you one long continuous
all
one.
day. Yeah. I've never been a big hugger. But I feel like as I've gotten older, I've been more comfortable about hugs. But people used to like make fun of me.
Much.
No
hugs from bugs.
No hugs from bugs. That's hugs bugs me. Bugs hug bugs.
Hugs bug you.
Hugs bug bugs.
Hugs bug bugs. Mm-hmm. Well, this has been a fun one.
This has been fun.
We have some predictions.
We do, but we got to go to Prediction Town first.
I'm happy to take a train. I think it's probably more fuel efficient.
I think trains are great.
You want to do it?
Yeah.
All aboard.
Oh, tickets. Exiting Prediction Town station.
Oh, man.
Oh, flat on it. My phone dropped. I got it. I got my predictions.
Okay, great. Go for it.
Okay. Stuart is going to blow up this firm with even more pranks and weird jealousy over Ted, even though they have, quote unquote, made up. Okay. I think what we know from Suits is anytime someone thinks that their relationship is repaired, there is something lurking.
Okay.
Something's coming.
A little lurker. Oh.
Did you like that burp right there?
Yeah.
Oh. A little lurker.
Okay.
I also think that this love triangle is getting very nicely set up, which is building off of your prediction from last week. Mm-hmm. I think that it's not going to be a threesome. It's going to be very real life. But Samantha and Ted obviously have a history.
Yeah.
Amanda and Ted
have a chemistry.
Mm-hmm. So there's some sort of flying V there.
Yeah. You have another one?
Oh, yeah. I also think that this new case, the next one, is going to bring up old wounds for Ted and Stuart and Samantha in particular. Okay. It's something that, like, they have to work together on, but also they never quite worked it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big, old, open, gaping wounds.
Yeah. I have an interesting spin on that. I'll roll into mine and jump to, and I don't think this will happen by the next episode, but I think they're going to combine one big mega firm now that they're all getting along.
Oh.
Like Ted's talking to Samantha, he and Stuart are working together. They're going to bring up this new case you're talking about is going to bring up some old wounds. Like, what if they end up pulling a big mega firm and to say, hey, there's strength in numbers.
Which is what it was supposed to be.
Right.
It was supposed to be a big mega firm.
Yeah.
And then they cut Ted out at the last second.
I think they're going to go back to it.
They're going to go back on it.
Yeah.
But how can you trust people who have cut you out before?
I don't know. Erica and Rick are seconds away from hooking up.
From big old hookup.
Big old hookup. But I think something with work is going to get in between them.
Probably this firm merger.
Maybe.
Because who's going to be head of entertainment?
Yeah.
How do you go from being the sole head of entertainment to co-heads of entertainment?
I know. And then I think we're going to see Harvey Specter and Louis Litt within the next 4 episodes.
Incredible prediction. So bold.
Bold and predictable.
Because we have read Entertainment Weekly. We know it's coming.
We know it's coming.
I can't wait for that. I can't wait to see Louis Litt.
Back again.
Okay, Louis Litt's going to like totally get along with Stuart, right? Like they're going to be buddies somehow.
I hope to teach him some jokes.
Yeah, they're going to do some serious pranks.
That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this has been really great. We got 4 more episodes left.
Only 4?
Yeah, I think only 4.
It's been a fun adventure.
It has been a fun adventure. We don't know. There's no word yet that if it's been picked up for season 2. Is there?
Not that I've seen.
Okay. We don't know yet. But we're here for it if they are.
I am.
We're totally here for it.
Totally.
Should I sign us off?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thanks so much for tuning in. You can check us out at onlysuitsfans.com where you can find anything you want to know about us. Also, the Harvey Specter monthly newsletter will be dropping soon, right? In a couple of days.
Yeah, on Tuesday.
It drops on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and of course YouTube. You can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere else you get your podcast. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review.
And if you don't know what to say in your review, just say, Bugs and Nana, my 2 favorite podcast hosts.
Oh, man. Bugs and Nana.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
I love them.
We made good time on that. We're going to get all you guys in bed fairly early unless you're tuning in from another time zone. Like
or you're watching this tomorrow or whatever.
Or you're doing it.
If it's tomorrow already where you are.
Yeah.
Bonjour.
That's fair. bonjour, 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 or goodbye, 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 goodbye.